Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today is May 29th, Sunday, May 29th, 2022. Today's video is Saudi Arabia restructuring Islam? I was preparing for this video, and I received also an email from a person uh, who sent me something else happening in Saudi Arabia, which was the first airplane took off from Saudi Arabia with a crew, mainly women. The pilot, the co pilot, the hostess, all of them are women, but the passengers are not. And that it is actually, it belongs to the same subject, whatever I was going to talk about, and this subject. I remember about 4.5 years ago, I made a video, and I'm going to put the link to this video in the description box. And it was the title of the video, Would Saudi Arabia withstand the coming tsunami? And then I made another video and I called it, Would Saudi Arabia withstand the coming tsunami number 2? And the reason is, just 4.5 years ago, which is not really a long time. I mean, if a baby was born 4.5 years ago, it's still a little child. What Saudi Arabia was 4.5 years ago, or until 4 years ago, actually until 3 years ago, was living in the Stone Age, or living in the 7th century. It was really even though there are many high-rising buildings and cars and everything, but the people who are running the country are those, we can get away when we say the Muslim Brotherhood. But I don't want the video to be erased by YouTube because they... Anyway, we can get away because Muslim Brotherhood now officially by all countries is declared as terrorist organization, as if the Muslim Brotherhood studied Buddhism in Japan and they brought the terrorism to us in Egypt and in Saudi Arabia and in North Africa, in America, and anyway, we can get away with that. The Saudi Arabia was run by the Muslim Brotherhood. So it was really doomed, honestly. And that's why I made this video. Would this country really withstand the coming tsunami? Because as we see, the world is changing so fast. And it's one of two. It's either you adapt and fit in that new changes, or you will be crushed. And it seems to be like, I'm glad that really young man like the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, even though at certain point I was really against him and what he was doing, because I didn't know all the details. But now that I see his vision, I appreciate him very much. Okay, so the first thing he did, he took these heads, the head of the snake, okay, or the devil. He took these heads, put them in prison. He imprisoned them. He imprisoned them in a fancy 5-star hotel. But nevertheless, they were held against their wish and their will. And he took the money that it was actually going out to finance the terrorists all over the world, the money that it was supplying the cells that it helped people like those who did September 11th. Uh, so when the fund is dry, these terrorists cannot do much really. So he confiscated all the money they have. Then terrorism became much less. Of course, it cannot be destroyed all at once, but hopefully soon. Anyway, so 4.5 years ago, there was no vision. Uh, People who go to Saudi Arabia, even I remember, I think it was the French Prime Minister went Saudi Arabia, and she had even Hillary Clinton when she went Saudi Arabia, she had to cover her head. Condoleezza Rice, she also covered her head. So it was like very rigid rules. Anyway, soon the Crown Prince started to loosen that grip once he controlled these people and he took them from the position of powers, like they were controlling the media, the military. He took them all out of the position of powers and he started to do changes. And that is very wise, because if you leave them with their money and their position, they can take the country wherever they want. And whatever change he wants to make, it will be impossible because they control the people. And they control the media, and the media controls the people. Unfortunately, the media, not just in Saudi Arabia, even in America, the media is terrible. I'm sorry. They have certain agenda that it comes from the government. In terms of Saudi Arabia, because it was a dictatorship country, so if the media bring them out of this dictatorship, that is a plus. But when you are in a free nation and the media try to control your freedom and tell you what to do, that's the opposite. I'm sorry. Anyway, he used the same method. He used the media to start to break the old concepts that came to us 1400 years ago, that it destroyed the mind of many. So he started with women can drive. Women can go out of their house to go to the supermarket, do shopping, because before, if a woman wants to cook, prepare food for her husband when he comes back from work, she has to wait until he comes, go out together, do the shopping, come back home, and she start cooking. That stopped. She can go, she can do her shopping, and she can travel. Before, she couldn't travel outside of the country. She had to have a person with her, a man guardian with her. That stopped. Furthermore, only 4 years ago, or even less than that, that institute that they will force people, literally, at the time of prayer, they will have a stick and they will drive people like animals, hit them with the stick to go to the mosque to pray. And I don't understand who is in his right mind that you won't force people to pray. You have to be an idiot. You can't. This is something a person will have to feel in his heart or in his mind, that I want to pray. But to force him, I'm sorry. So that was happening 4 years ago, and it looks like this is a doomed country. This country will really be a disaster within 4 or 5 years because of the rapid change that it is taking place. And probably some people can see these signs in Saudi Arabia. Unfortunately, in many other Islamic countries like my country, Egypt, unfortunately, is way behind Saudi Arabia. way in leading the charge to change and to become a modernized country, Egypt is way beyond the Muslim Brotherhood, or that ideology of the Muslim Brotherhood has destroyed many minds in Egypt, to a point that people now, uh, a country like that, I'm sorry, unfortunately, even though it's my country and I hope it prosper, but with this ideology and this way of thinking, I'm sorry, it's doomed. They have to do at least like Saudi Arabia. They have to come out of this sickness, leave this nonsense behind, and rebuild from beginning. So what is the crown prince of Saudi Arabia doing now? He is building a new city, totally from scratch. He took a piece of land, a desert piece of land, equal to that the size of Kuwait, by the Red Sea, on the western side of Saudi Arabia, and he is building a new town that it will use only clean energy. He's not using the oil that Saudi Arabia is producing, all using clean energy. It will be a tourist destination, and if you have a tourist destination, it's actually mainly for people to see the beauty in the Red Sea, the coral, the fish, the beauty of the Red Sea. And that will be men and women coming to see this beauty, and to see the beauty, to dive into the Red Sea. You're not going to ask women to have hijab on their heads, and that nonsense that they wear, in order for them to dive in the Red Sea and see and watch the beauty of the Red Sea. So it has to be a swimming suit. So that is breaking that sick old tradition that if you see the skin of a woman, her foot or her hand or her arm, men used to go crazy. We know that this grand idiot, when he saw a woman, a Muslim woman, dressed in the Islamic way 1400 years ago, he saw her. He was sitting with his friends. Imagine yourself sitting with your friends, and a covered woman passes by. He leaves his friends. He goes to one of his wife inside the house. He asks her to take her clothes off. He finishes business with her, and he comes out back to his friends, and he tells them the woman comes and goes, like in a form of Satan. So instead of saying, I can't control my desire, I am out of control, no, he blames it on somebody else, on the woman. And unfortunately, many of the people who follow this nonsense, if they see a hand of a woman, they get excited. If they see the elbow, the arm, anything, the eyes, they get excited. So they are out of control, whether they see her fingernail or see her all naked. Cannot control. This is inherited sickness coming from the grand idiot. You know whom I'm talking about. Okay? So now, this is a new vision. A new vision. So only 4 years or 3 years ago, from beating people on the street to go to pray, the terrorist controlling the whole country, controlling the media, controlling the money. This is done. Now, woman can go out by herself. She can travel outside the country by herself. This was unheard of before. For 1,400 years, that was not heard of. This is changing. And now uh, a group of ladies flying an airplane from one city to another. And I wouldn't doubt that pretty soon, very shortly, there might be a woman astronaut go into space from Saudi Arabia. That will be a huge leap forward. The Crown Prince, what I see, he knows that tourism, the old tourism, is about to die. When you know that Muslim leaders, this is online, Muslim leaders are complaining that that's their research, 24% of young Muslim people are leaving Islam. 24% now. And as time passes by and people start to think, and the younger people grow up and start to think for themselves and compare this idiotic garbage and what is going on, more will leave. What if it's 50%, 70, 90? Tourism, the religious tourism that it used to bring a lot of money for Saudi Arabia at the time of Hajj, that's tourism, really. And merchant in Saudi Arabia, they take advantage of this time and they make money because people come, they buy souvenirs and all kind of stuff, so they sell it to them. Business. And that's since the beginning, actually. There were many Kaaba before, many black buildings like this. I believe 22 Kaaba before. They destroyed them all and they left one. So the center of business can be in one area and people come to spend money in that area. Now, they are losing this business now, 24% in 2-3 more years, 50%. After 10 years is 90%. Tourism is no longer bringing that much money. Add to that oil, the demand on oil now, especially that the prices are going up, many people are looking for other alternative energy. And I believe the future will be nuclear power, clean and limitless. Whereas even if we continue using oil at certain point will dry up. There's no, it's not like limitless supply of oil. It's not like water. You use it and then it comes out in a different form and gets evaporated and come back as a pure water again. No, it's not like that. To produce oil, it takes millions of years. So it's not limitless supply of oil. It will dry up at certain point. So you have no religious tourism and you don't have oil. What will happen to Saudi Arabia and all the Gulf region? They go back to the 7th century, literally. So the Crown Prince, I respect him for having this vision that building new, and it will be like a country independent from the former Saudi Arabia. Yes, it is part of Saudi Arabia, but people there, you cannot tell them, let's say, some people like to drink beer. You can't tell them, oh, alcohol is forbidden because that's a religious practice. Go to the old place where that black building is and don't drink. Come here, let me live the way I want. In a way, it's two countries now. The new and the future and the dying. This is a dying breed now. It's a matter of time. I may be harsh, but it is what it is. Thank you very much. We hope to hear from you.